Hey there and welcome. So today, we're going to tackle poetry. And I can already hear some of you groaning. But stick with me here. Because what if I told you there's a secret key to understanding it, and it's been right in front of us the whole time?
You know that feeling, right? You sit down with a poem, you read the words, and it just feels like you're trying to crack a secret code, or like you're on the outside of some big inside joke. It's so common to feel like you're just missing something, like you've been handed a puzzle box but nobody gave you the instructions.
Okay, so let's just start right there, with that whole secret code feeling. Because honestly, admitting that it can be frustrating, that's the very first step to figuring this all out.
And I bet some of these hurdles look pretty familiar. You get these poems with totally weird sentence structures, or vocabulary that nobody's used in 100 years, and that immediately makes us start digging for some kind of hidden meaning. We start thinking, okay, that hat can't just be a hat, can it? And before you know it, you're totally lost and convinced you're just not smart enough for poetry.
And a big part of the problem is how we're introduced to it. Think about it. In school, we usually start with the old stuff, right? So we get this idea that all poems are supposed to talk backwards, kind of like Yoda. Impatient you are. We're basically trained from day one to expect it to be this super complicated, twisted up thing.
But here's the thing, it wasn't always like this, not even close. To really get what's going on, we have to rewind the clock a little and look at what poetry's original job even was. Like, what was it actually for?
So way back in ancient times, poetry was basically the hard drive for all of human civilization. Seriously, epic poems were how you recorded history, tracked the lineage of kings, told the stories of heroes, and rhyme, that wasn't just to sound pretty. It was a piece of technology, a memory tool that let you pass down your entire culture from one generation to the next just by speaking. And today, poetry is still doing that same job, recording culture. But now it does it by zeroing in on these really specific personal moments.
Okay, so if poetry's main gig was always to communicate and record stuff clearly, where did we get so lost? How did we end up in this place where it feels like we have to, torture a poem just to get it to talk?
Well, for a lot of us, it goes back to the classroom. This is where we learn what I'm going to call the treasure hunt method. It's like, on day one, you're handed a metaphorical shovel and a map with a big X on it, and you're told, the real meaning is buried under there. Now start digging.
And no one has described this aggressive approach better than the poet Billy Collins. Just listen to this. He says that all some readers want to do is tie the poem to a chair with rope and torture a confession out of it. Wow. It's such a strong image, right? But it perfectly captures that feeling of trying to wring one single correct answer out of a poem. So what's the alternative to that, torture method? Well, on the other side, Collins gives us the experience method, and his analogies for this are just fantastic. Instead of digging for meaning, he says, why not just drop a mouse into the poem and see where it goes? Or feel around the walls for a light switch. Or, and this one is my absolute favorite, just water ski across the surface and enjoy the view. It's about exploration, not interrogation. It's a total mindset shift.
All right, you ready for it? This is the moment. This is the big secret, the key that unlocks the whole thing. Here it is. Great contemporary poetry is not about being confusing or obscure. The secret is clarity. It's all about being clear.
And that clarity really just boils down to 3 simple rules. First, be accessible. Use language that people can actually connect with. Second, be specific. Ground the poem in details we can almost touch and see. And third, if you do those first 2 things, it will be understandable. That's it. That is the entire secret code. Accessible, specific, understandable.
Let's put this to the test. Let's go back to that Billy Collins poem, Introduction to Poetry. Does it follow the rules? Well, is it accessible? Totally. The language is simple, the classroom setting is familiar. Is it specific? Yep, we know exactly what's happening. And because of that, is it understandable? Absolutely. The message is crystal clear. Don't torture the poem, just experience it. It's a perfect case study for how these rules work.
And this idea brings us full circle, right back to poetry's job of recording the pulse of our culture. Because when a poem is clear, when it's specific, that's when it has the power to capture what it actually feels like to be alive, right here, right now. And this, right here, is the real magic trick of modern poetry. It's all about how the small can resonate with the large. By focusing on one tiny, specific, personal moment, like a teacher's quiet frustration in a classroom, a great poem can suddenly speak to a huge universal human experience. It's pretty incredible when you think about it.
And when we say recording culture, that doesn't just mean writing about big, heavy political stuff.
It means capturing our everyday hopes and fears. It's about nailing down those little moments that make up a life. It's giving a powerful voice to activism. I mean, think about hip-hop or spoken word, which are all about being clear and specific. Ultimately, it's about showing the rest of the world what it genuinely feels like to be us, living in this time.
So, I want to leave you with a question, and I want you to actually think about this. Forget about trying to find some grand hidden meaning. Just look at your own life. What small, specific moment from just this past week could be a poem? Maybe it's the weird way the light hit your coffee cup this morning, or a line from a conversation you overheard, or just that feeling of rain on your face. What was it? Because that is where poetry really lives today. It's not in some secret code, it's right there, in the clear, specific, beautiful details of your world.